Warning: this video review involves an anime series that involves fan service. Fan service is a process which involves anything of a sexual nature, including panty shots, breasts, and occasional brief nudity. If you're either a feminazi, an overprotective mother, a member of the Winger Dingers, a brony, or a John Cena fan, please, viewer discretion is advised. Thank you. Looks creepy, but he does appear to be a nice guy. He doesn't try to scare anybody or be mean. He gives advice when times come and also but we do see him frequently. He is sort of a very major supporting character of the series. Finally, we meet up with this other character who's sort of a semi-outside character, semi-narrator. He is known as Nazo the Bat. He's this little talking bat that flies around. Not totally noticed in the first season by the gang, but he kind of appears and says his little part about certain things that goes on in the series, and of course, he's best known for announcing how long Mocha's fights are. Very short fights. So this is, he goes, this has only been like a few seconds, and he goes, wee! Usually at the end, when he finishes talking, he goes, wee! But he does have a bigger role to play in Season 2. We'll focus on that when we get to Season 2. So, it is pretty interesting that we do have this. It's not just a big. Like other harem animes, this is not just some big TNA fest. Yeah, I know. Obviously, it does have tons of fan service and all, and that's one of the reasons why I like watching it. But there's a lot of good plots and stories to it. And it does get serious at times, even scary. As as the series progresses, they not only have to take care of guys who want to get the girls themselves through their own stupid ways, but of course they do have to deal with more serious problems, like a corrupt student government who find out that Skune is human. Now, of course, in the series, the only monster that knows that Skune is a human is Mocha, and she, of course, had to keep that a secret. But when it's released that, none of the, Kurumu, Yukari, and Mizure don't even know that he's human, and of course that the rule is that they have to keep their monster sides hidden, and they don't really pry into what his monster side is. So, obviously, and as he never, does anything. When they get into fights and everything, he appears not to be doing anything. So, basically, they almost seem to abandon him when the student government decides to punish him for being on campus as a human, as well as try to go after Mocha. By the end of the first season, of course, they do save the day and defeat the government. I'm not going to pry too much into how they do that, but of course, obviously, they do win and move on to Season 2. Now, of course, it's a pretty cute series. There's a lot of funny stuff going on, and stuff. Of course, they not only have, they also have to do with not just crazy students and crazy student bodies, but also very strange teachers. Like one episode, they have to deal with mermaids who run a swimming club, but their true intent is to try to drain the life force out of male students. while in another episode they have to deal with a sort of a dominatrix teacher who has very unusual ways of whipping education into her students during their private sessions. It does get kind of wacky and weird, so it's not that they have to just deal with each other, but they also have to deal with teachers, so it's kind of nutty. And it does get kind of weird at times, too, in this series. But I do suggest to watch this series. It's very popular. I mean, there's a few groups and fans of it on Facebook and everything and all. But that's pretty much in a nutshell the characters and some of the plot line of Rosario plus Vampire Season 1 of the series. I hope you enjoyed this little review of the series. I kind of probably have to split this up into 2 parts for this particular one, but we will move on to Season 2 and check out there, of course, new characters for that and new, strange plot lines and everything that makes that a pretty good series. And of course, wanting to get you more, obviously, the manga series, which this is based on, moves on from past Season 2. What happens in Season 2? So, and of course, there's a clamoring for a Season 3 on in the anime front, but we'll get into that in the next part of our Rosario plus Vampire review series. And hope you enjoy it, and stay tuned here for more reviews and whatnot here on the Multiverse. See ya.